friends, welcome back to my channel. I am finally ready in some fashion to kind of give you my sum up and reflection of all the things that I used up and all the progress that I made with so much of my collection in 2016. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my hoarding closet. I'm going to talk about my general trash talks that we saw a ton of this year. And I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about my Project 10 pans. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Overall, I think that after a year of keeping track of my hoarding closet and really breaking it down and looking in there and putting years on things, that was tremendously helpful because it really gave me some motivation and inspired me to do my year of no buy for Bath & Body Works with the exception of candles. I just have found after looking at my numbers that I can always seem to get my collection down quite a bit in 6 months, and then any progress that I have made just flies out the window when the semi-annual sales come around. So I think that really aside from the semi-annual sales, I don't shop at Bath & Body Works aside from candles. I really don't accumulate body care outside of that. And when I go to the SAS, I kind of just go crazy, and then I find myself not using the things that are older. And I've noticed that a lot of the scents that I have left, especially in body washes, I really like those scents. So I will have no problem using those down. And then with my body lotions, I have found that I don't really love some of those scents. I don't despise them, but my scent notes have kind of really changed. So I know that if I don't start focusing on using those up, I'm never going to progress through them. I did use my oldest lotion in my collection, which I was really happy about this year, and I was able to kind of find a way to be able to use them more, which is mixing them with thicker body lotions like the Vaseline extra dry non-scented lotion, and I can get through them in that way. So I am going to try doing that, but I really think that I will see a big difference in my collection after a year just of not doing any semi-annual sales. I also think dovetailing off of that idea, doing the project challenges using just body care items or just sort of non-makeup items has been tremendously helpful and motivating because it really keeps me on track, and I'm constantly looking through my collection and pulling stuff out of my closet and being really intentional about using it. So I do plan on doing that this year as well. I actually haven't filmed it yet, but I already picked and started working on items for the Finish 14 February 14th. So please, if you know of any seasonal challenges, as always, let me know about them because you guys are really good about keeping me aware of what's going on, and I'm really excited to keep doing that because it makes a huge difference in my collection. Additionally, as far as trash talks go, I have really gotten through, and I don't keep track of it, and I will not keep track of it because that to me is just way too cumbersome to keep track of literally everything that I use up. I just know that that's not realistic for me to do because I can get through a lot of stuff in a short period of time. I think the biggest factor is that I am not getting subscription services aside from the Sephora Play box. I really don't have anything coming in. I'll occasionally get a BoxyCharm, but I'm really going to try not to get any BoxyCharms this year. I'll occasionally maybe get a Birchbox, but again, very rare that I would do that. And I'm also finding that because I'm not feeling this need to purchase makeup all the time, I'm not constantly getting in the Sephora or the Ulta bags of samples. And because I'm not constantly working on samples, I'm able to focus more on full-size products or deluxe size products, which is really, again, really helpful to really keeping my collection down. I'm really happy with that. I will keep posting my trash talks. I'm going to renumber them again because it's a new year, and I'm going to make a playlist just for 2017 trash talks. I'm going to try really hard to stop having these really broad playlist categories and start to narrow them down more and more. That way it's easier if you want to find something current or you want to find something tailored to your particular interests, that will work for you, and you can find it really simply and easily and much more mainstream. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I have a trash talk coming up in a little while. I'm kind of backlogged on videos, which is why it's taking me a while to get this one out to you guys. Okay, so here's a breakdown of some of the numbers inside my hoarding closet going in for 2017. This includes semi-annual sales. This includes pretty much everything in there. I have added some new categories and, reshuffled things around and stuff. So it might look a little detrimental, but I think it's pretty feasible to use up some of these categories. So I have my laptop here to look at the spreadsheet. I have 16 hand soaps. I have 7 shampoos, 10 conditioners. I have 7 like leave-in hair care products. There are 5 serums. I have 1 hair oil, which you guys know I am desperately trying to work on the other oil I took out forever ago and still haven't gone through. I have travel body sprays 1, which is amazing compared to where I was even like 2 years ago. Full-size body sprays 2, which again is amazing. It's 100% thanks to you guys that I've been able to use those up, and I really expect to have no body sprays or no fine fragrance mists once this year is over. I'm super pumped about that because that's a category that I just don't need to have anything for. I don't have a use for those items. Travel body wash 1, full-size body washes 30, but I really truly believe I can get through a good chunk of those in a year. I'm super liberal with body wash, like I'm not worried about that category. Travel body lotion 4, and then full-size body lotions 27. That is the category that is most concerning because I'm finding as I'm aging that my body is less and less able to feel moisturized with body lotions. I'm much more of like a creams person all year round, which is definitely a change from 2 years ago when I would do, but mostly body creams throughout the year, and then like the triple body butters or the like triple body moisture, whatever they call them now at Bath & Body Works, the actual like thicker creams, I would use those like mid-fall to winter, but now it's the opposite. I'm rarely not using a thicker moisturizer for my body. My winter body lotions, as I call them, 15. My body scrubs is 23, which is a ton, but I get through body scrubs really fast, so again, I'm not worried about it. Makeup removers, 7, but that's a practical item to have. I'm going to always use those up. Face wash, this has increased a little bit because I have a lot of deluxe size samples that I didn't want to keep out in my medicine cabinet, so I moved them to the hoarding closet. So face wash is 6, face moisturizer is 9, but really all of those in those 2 categories are sample sizes, so I'll get through those. Face toners and serums 7, again a little high. Some of those are full size, some of those are deluxe size, but I've been really focusing on that the past couple of years and it really is whittled down. Hair masks, new category. This is 4, a lot of different hair masks. I don't really know how to mask them so quickly, but I do want to use those. Tanning products, a random category I did not think I would ever have in my hoarding closet, but I have 4. One of those is one I actually like. It's a Saint Tropez in shower tanner, but the other ones are just like samples I've gotten, so I'll try my best to use those once summer comes. And then exfoliants for my face, I have 2 of those. So all in all, a lot of things happening in here. Any category that was like 2 or less, I didn't touch on, but as always, I will post the spreadsheet of my hoarding closet in the comments below so that you can keep track. I also have put a column of increase, decrease. So every time I count, I look back at like where I was last time and have I increased or decreased and what have you. So I have it all down there for you to peruse. Okay, now on to Project 10 pans. I really enjoyed doing back-to-back Project 10 pans, and I would say about like halfway into the year, I started doing like Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends, I would allow myself to play and do whatever I wanted. I'm a creature of habit though, so aside from like eyeshadow and maybe blush, I didn't really change a lot of what I was wearing, but I didn't get bored. I didn't get tired of it, which I was really surprised by. I was terrible about updating you guys, so my plan is once we get through January to every Thursday have some kind of project update, whether it's like a trash talk, whether it's a pan that palette, because yes, I'm doing that, a Project 10 pan or a seasonal challenge. Like that's what I plan on doing in Thursdays, is to make it more structured, and that way it will help me be more accountable for updating you guys. I'm someone who feels like it's boring to see progress updates when there's not a lot of progress, but I think it'll be better to get me on a schedule, and it'll also give you guys a more realistic idea of how long it does take to pan certain things, which I would be interested in. I do like to watch people's project pans for that reason. I'm not going to stick to Project 10 pans though. I'm just going to pan whatever the heck I want to. Sometimes it might be 10, sometimes it might be 12. Who the heck knows? It's just whatever I'm feeling is what I will do. As for last year, I officially had 4 project pans that I did. Now, I would stop and do a finale when I was down to like 1 or 2 items that were probably going to take me a lot longer to do, and it seemed silly to do updates for just those 2 things when I had kind of already, without making it official and formal, picked new items. So I'll do the same thing again. In total, I used up $274.08 of items for the year, which was actually a lot lower than I thought it was going to be. I felt like I was going to either get through a lot more of worth or just a lot more items. But I think when I look back at the items on here, a lot of it's a drugstore and a lot of it is like makeup samples. So those, while good to get through, are not going to have the high like substantial value or like usage amount compared to like a palette or a high-end product. But when I look at my collection, I don't have a ton of high-end products. I'm a mostly like drugstore, maybe like middle of the road kind of price tag. I'm not someone who's going to go out and buy really expensive makeup. It's just not who I am. And I have found that drugstore makeup can be just as effective, if not better, than the higher stuff. But in total, number-wise, I got through about like 32-ish products. I say that because some of it was like samples and things that I just compiled at once and didn't like itemize what those things were. Again, it's very eye-opening to see that. I would imagine it would be higher, and I'm gonna hope that maybe this year it'll be higher, but we'll see. You never know. But I will be doing back-to-back project pans, and I will be much more diligent about keeping you guys up to date on what I'm using and how I'm getting on with it. Because again, I think that it's important to show the realism behind using your collection. On the flip side of that, I also was recently inspired to count a makeup collection. And as I was doing that, I ended up decluttering a lot of stuff, and I filmed the declutter video and I edited it and I was all excited, and then the file got corrupted and I couldn't upload it and it was gone. So I couldn't show you guys that, but as I was doing that, the counting and the little bit of decluttering, I was really horrified by just my eyeshadow palettes. I have something like, I want to say it's in the 30s for eyeshadow palettes, which is insane. And it doesn't even include my like drugstore, trios, quads. Like I have a ton of those too. So I've decided that on top of doing a Project 10 pan this year, I am going to, on the weekends, pick one palette. Like I separated my palettes into ones that I know I love and I want to keep. And then I made a separate like bucket of ones that I'm on the fence with. I've either never really used them or I used them a while ago and haven't come back to them since. So I'm going to pick one of those to do on the weekend and then make a choice by the end of the month of if I'm going to keep it or not. And if I choose to declutter it, I'll put it in a trash talk so you guys can see it, and I'll talk a little bit about why I chose to get rid of it. If I keep it, I'll then just add it in. And then on top of that, one of my resolutions, which I think is going to be incredibly challenging, but I really want to stick to it, is I don't want to buy any eyeshadow this year. I did a pretty good job last year. I didn't buy, I think it was only like maybe 2 eyeshadow palettes that I bought last year. And it was really like, maybe it was 3. No, I'm not sure now. Maybe it was more than that. I got no more than 5 last year, which that to me was a really impressive feat, because I know oftentimes when I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and when something cycles through like the YouTube world, it's really tempting to be like, oh, it's so great. I'm hearing such awesome things about it. It's the next best thing. Like there's never been anything else like this before in my whole life. And you can get sucked in so easily. But whenever that happens, I need to go back into my collection and remind myself that I probably already have some variation of that. And if the quality is no good and I want the new buttery texture or whatever it is, I need to throw the other one away and then get the new one. Like that has to be my mentality, because it's just insane having this many eyeshadow palettes. And until I really counted it, I didn't have a full scope or any kind of meaning of what that looked like or how just overwhelming that number is. So I'm happy to have done that. I don't want to break down the rest of the numbers for you guys just because I'm not in a place where I want to focus on that. I just want to focus on using up products and being focused on that and not being focused on making goals for each category. And it just doesn't really, I like people doing it and I like to watch that, but it doesn't really excite me and I don't personally want to do that. So I'm going to keep that off my channel. But all in all, that is kind of where I'm at with my resolutions. I'm feeling really good about what I did in 2016, and I want to keep doing it in 2017. I think it was successful. I'm not bored of it. I'm enjoying it, and you know, as soon as I'm not enjoying it, I'll stop. But for now, I'm really liking it. And if you guys have any tips or if you have any requests for any of these, like trash talk or project pans or seasonal challenges, let me know in the comments below. And I would love to talk to you guys about this and get your feedback on it, because I want to do things that you guys are interested in that also can make me happy. So, you know, all of the above. But that's it for this. Stay tuned for a lot of intro project videos, because I have a ton of those coming that I just haven't filmed yet, but I've started working with and making decisions about. But aside from that, I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.